Civil protection in any society is considered a irreplaceable vital requirement that cannot be underestimated due to the specificity of the entrusted duties over the decades. The concept of civil protection has been oriented in any diverse humanitarian services, and numerous dimensions and concepts of paramount significance fall under its main title. This is due to its close connection to the protection of mankind and cultural gains from various potential risks. Hence, the establishment of civil defense and civil protection took place to take on the performance of such a great role, particularly the disasters that the world has been witnessing, whether natural or man-made destructions resulting in human and material losses, as well as the consequent long-term negative efforts, especially at the psychological, social, and economic levels. The launch of the International Organization of Civil Protection was in 1931 under the name of the Association Internationale de Lyon de Geneva and was based in Paris, similar to the Goodwill Embassy, due to the aspired humanitarian objective and purpose from the earliest age. However, the focus at the time was limited to protecting civilians during wartime. In 1937, it took Geneva as its base under the name of the International Association for the Protection of the Civilian Population and Historic Buildings during wartime, until 1958, in which it took the current name, the International Organization for Civil Protection. Hence, its mission was marked by the comprehensive and international nature to include the protection of humanity in peace and war alike. Although its constitution, which came into force and application in the 1st of March 1972, with the unremitting and continuing efforts and through successive conferences of civil protection, it was able to incorporate the concept of civil protection under the international humanitarian law. The founding of the International Organization of Civil Protection has been the product of a profound understanding and awareness of the significance of the humanitarian role played by the civil defense and civil protection in maintaining the safety of its humankind, capabilities, and the gains made by successive generations in difficult conditions between World Wars I and II. Thereupon, such has forced the international community to establish an organization to ensure safe passages and protection to the intervening rescue teams. This is stipulated in the Geneva Convention of the 12th of August 1949, as the organization took the pivotal role outlining the basic principles in promoting the system of international cooperation in the areas of civil protection and civil defense. Perhaps the best evidence of the magnitude of the leading role played by the International Organization of Civil Protection in achieving its vision of human noble dimensions have been the assigned duties of encouraging the countries to establish systems and national institutions to carry out the tasks of civil protection, counseling, technical, and scientific studies in this area, as well as strengthening the relationship between protection institutions of civil defense in the member states to achieve the principle of constructive participations to unify efforts to take advantage of the available capabilities to reduce the impact of disasters and identify patterns and accreditation rules of all performance aspects of fieldwork.
ICDO now is a practical and growing organization. We are doing a lot of international projects in the interest of our member states. Only during the current year, we are fulfilling different projects in Korea, Nicaragua, Cuba, and together with our strategic partner, America of Russia, now we are developing the new project to support the training activity in Tunis, in Jordan, in Cameroon. For my opinion, the decision which was made during this session, very important decision regarding the creation, information and operation center in ICDO headquarters in Geneva.
In order to fulfill the vision of the International Organization of Civil Protection in the advancement of the human services carried out by civil protection agencies, and certain keenness to perform this duty within the best possible available levels, the organization has worked on creating opportunities to all member states to exchange information and experiences in various areas of civil protection and civil defense by providing the necessary facilities in the areas of training, both theoretical and practical, whether at the headquarters of the organization in the city of Geneva or through regional training centers accredited by the organization in a number of member states. Considering that the exercises of mock drill accidents as another form of the stimulators training types that mimic within their realistic scenarios whether accidents may fall and their role in enriching the cognitive and field skills that participants from all member countries, the organization has given this aspect a great attention and follow-up through the careful implementation of joint exercises, periodically bearing in mind that the hypotheses are suitable to the nature of potential accidents. Whereas the organization is the international umbrella for the civil protection and civil defense of the member states, it has been keen to organize and hold periodic meetings and conferences aimed at bridging the distance between civil protection agencies through the development of effective future plans and strategies aimed at achieving greater communication and constructive cooperation to serve its humanitarian mission through the concepts of its internal system consisted of the General Assembly, Executive Council, and the General Secretariat. Due to the conviction of the International Organization of Civil Protection that the humanitarian roles of civil protection and the civil defense are preventative before being therapeutic, it has given the educational and awareness a great attention and follow-up by reviewing and evaluating the performance in order to realize a better future achievement and avoid errors, if any, within an integrated system of disciplined institutional work and spreading the culture of preventative awareness and human behavior and anticipate accidents with precautionary measures that take into account the risk margins of any performed work around the hour and in all spheres of life. The inmost educational and awareness role of the organization has been crystallized by assigning the 1st of March of each year as an International Day of Civil Protection through executive studies by the representatives of the Civil Defense and Civil Protection in the periodical meetings of the Executive Council, in which the ideas being set forth are developed to serve its interests within a feedback based on facts and statistics that have been collected and analyzed in an unanimous manner, thus reaching a logo to be adopted by the Civil Defense and Civil Protection in order to enhance its contents and apply it on the ground through all the available means and methods that are through organizing many activities, events, and programs aimed at benefiting from this scientific day and promoting a culture of civil defense in all segments of societies. In line with the ambitious visions of the organization to keep the civil defense agencies in touch with all new modern scientific fields of civil protection, it has proceeded to establish an international exhibitions in order to allow the civil defense and civil protection to gain access to modern and sophisticated vehicles and operational equipment in all areas of the field work, while pursuing the newly issued magazines and pamphlets dealing with topics of direct relevance to the work of the civil protection and civil defense and the ways to improve their performance to the best levels. Through the realization of the International Organization of Civil Protection to keep pace with science and knowledge as the best way to develop the potential and enhance the expertise, capacity, and draw a new structure for research and documentation, it has created many bridges of constructive and fruitful cooperation with institutes and universities with competence in the field of civil protection, and establishing an electronic network with international bodies and organizations in order to follow the latest developments and enrich the works in this field with the knowledge and expertise to perform their duties in the best way. The organization hasn't overlooked those generous hands that gave with perfection and therefore deserved praise, and it has been keen to honor a number of workers in the field of civil protection in its annual ceremonies in tribute and recognition of their efficient contributions in achieving civil protection, whether on the local or international level. Ultimately, it must be stated that the past 80 years to the march of achievement and contribution of the International Organization of Civil Protection had a clear imprint in consolidating the concepts of civil protection and civil defense within a vision and comprehensive planning that had exceeded the limits of time, space, to announce its humanitarian role towards the nations and communities in all circumstances and conditions.